I felt like Nicole was being truthful with Smitty, and honestly, I could see where her making these excuses could be in the conversation her and Smitty had when it came to Martin. But I did agree with Nicole when she said ultimately Martin didn't.
Lawful wedded husband.
To be my
Barbara. Not Barbara-Jean's heart.
With a tramp like you?
Well, I know it hurts being third rate, but aren't you accustomed to it yet?
Oh, Robin, I see you.
I myself the slut of Springfield!
Son of a bitch in heat. I found out myself what love is all about.
Hey everybody, it's me, Nikki. I don't think we're getting a concert tomorrow. I think we'll get the concert on Monday because we have a lot going on with Beyond the Gates. Like, it's still a lot of stuff going on, and we don't know who all gonna be at the concert. Like, we know for a fact that Wiggy Wonder is gonna be at the concert, but is Trick Ass Tomas gonna be at the concert? Are Evil Genuine and Triple H gonna be there? Is Shanice, Mona, Jan, Derek, Vanilla Bean, Ashley, are they gonna be at the concert? I don't know. But at this point, let's get into it. So Tidarius wants to be a grown man, and he wants to know everything. He feels like everybody keeping him and his sister in the dark when it comes to everything. And they're grown, they're adults, they are mature enough to handle everything because of the stories and the situations that they went through in foster care. And it's like they lost their innocence or like childlike wonder as a kid. Like, you have to grow up way too fast, being shuffled from house to house to house, or being in group homes. But when they got to the Duprees, they were being treated like babies or treated like children. And it's like, he's a child. You would want him to stay in a child's place and just enjoy being a child for a while. But he doesn't want that. He wants to know everything. And Daddy Dupree had to tell him, listen, you talking to me and really like communicating with me, that's a grown man business. But I'm gonna tell you like this: your parents have boundaries that I'm not gonna cross. They allow you to come into the conversations with them, and you have to go to them if you really want to know something. Because yes, there's more to the story, but I can't tell you. It's gonna be up to them. Now, we as the older generation would like for you to do better, and we would like for you to grow and be so much more. And the hovering and everything is unhealthy, and he's just like telling him, like, we wish we could just keep y'all in this box and freeze y'all in time, but you can't because people grow up and people need to know what's going on in life. But listen, Lil Tidarius has no discernment about himself because he mentioned, Daddy Dupree mentioned one aspect of being an adult and being a mature adult at that is knowing when to back off and knowing when to having discernment. Tidarius and Sabbatical don't have discernment, so let's go ahead and take this out the equation and shut down telling them anything else. Now, Lil Tidarius apologized to Lil Juniper. You know, the girl he went off on because he thought she was trying to use him or trying to play him and everything. She back from her college program, her pre-college program, and he apologized to her because he realized he's a lot like Martin than he realized. As in, I was keeping my communication with you to very much the pits of hell, just like Martin was with Smitty. Like, I didn't tell you how I felt, and I wasn't communicating that properly. So when you kissed me, I went off on you, and it wasn't right. He owns it. He takes accountability, and he apologizes. And he's wondering if she'd give him another chance. And she like, I don't know. I don't know about that right now. That's all I could give you. And I was like, listen, Martin and Smitty need to be prepared to be grandparents. Nicole and Crewneck Ted need to prepare to be great grandparents, and Miss Anita and Daddy Dupree need to prepare to be great grandparents. Okay, because that's what's gonna happen with them. I can see it. I'm raving back stuff in this post. Anyway, moving on. Daddy Dupree, before he ends up having a conversation with Tidarius, because they are orphy genes when all of this goes down. The situation with Juniper, and then they're talking about the secret and how, Tidarius wants to be treated like an adult. He talks to Andre, and Andre spent the episode, first of all, opened the episode with him looking at pictures of Vanilla Bean Ashley, so we know what type of time he on. But, Daddy Dupree was like, what are your intentions with my daughter? And he was basically like, oh, I just want to be her friend, and I'd be grateful for any time she gives me, and I really do care about her, and all these things, but she wants respect out of everything. She doesn't need to be protected. She doesn't need this. She doesn't need that. She wants to be respect it. And that's exactly what Danny wants. She wants people to respect her and to also treat her like she's an adult and not to coddle her, because she's not going to coddle anybody based off what we saw today. So when he mentions that he knows she doesn't need protection and she doesn't need this, it's like, those are all the things you do for Ashley, which is why you are such so much wanting to be in Ashley's orbit because she needs to be protected. She needs to be coddled. She needs to be taken care of. And these are all things that Danny will tell you herself. I can do all of those things myself. I can take care of myself. I can cuddle myself. I can protect myself. Those are all things I need someone who has a full life, who's willing to, you know, have a full life with me. I have a full life. That person has a full life. Let's have a full life together. So when him and Danny end up meeting up at Miss Anita and Daddy Dupree's house because he's there to talk to Miss Anita about some business, I think that has to do with articulates. I think he gonna put together like a video package or a slideshow or something for the girls. I don't know. Danny was like, "Oh, what you doing here?" And he wouldn't tell her initially. And she was like, "I hope you're not here to ask my father for my hand in marriage." And he's like, and she was like, "Child, calm down. You're not ready to get married to me or anybody for that matter. And I'm damn sure not ready to get married to you or for anybody in that matter. We work well together, okay? Is this about your feelings for the nurse?" And he was like, "Oh, no, don't want to talk about that." And he's trying to skirt past it. And she was like, "Let's be real, let's be honest. I've never lied to you about how I felt about my ex-husband, even when I wanted those feelings to go away and I tried to bury them. So don't lie to me about how you feel about her, because I don't have an issue with it. When it comes down to it, we are each other's transitional relationship. We know this, and that is okay. But we have a really great time in bed, and we have always been open and honest with each other about things. So let's not start lying now." So it's like, okay, cool. Now she invited him to go to her old bedroom. You know, sheets on the bed, sheets off the bed. It really don't matter. She wanted to hunch that man, and he's like, "I can't. Let's rain check that because I got to handle some business with Miss Anita." Okay, Miss Anita told Danny, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to go make yourself scarce because I need to talk about some business with him." And she was like, "And y'all say I'm too old for him." It was like, it was a little messy. But talking about Danny not pulling punches with nobody, Danny had to call Martin out for being selfish. Okay, you don't want to go to the concert for your grandmother who's basically done everything but give you life because you think people are going to be worried about you in a press conference that never was, and and it's going to be focused on you. It's not always about you. At this current moment, for the past couple of weeks, it has been about you, with the secret being revealed and everybody tiptoeing around you, with not only the secret being revealed, but also with you and Smitty splitting up. You can give your grandmother 2 hours out of the day. You show up for your constituents so you can show up for her. And Danny was reading him the riot act, and he was like, "You know, right, I am selfish. And I am going to go to concert. I'm going to be there with my kids, front row center, and I'm going to clap louder than any of y'all up in there." So, boom, we got that taken care of. Hallelujah. Sock it to you. Casey, JoJo, let me hear you say, yeah. Okay, it was a good moment had by all. Now, this was a divide and conquer tactic because while Danny was talking to Martin, Nicole went down there to talk to Smitty, and she basically had to break it down to Smitty. Smitty is very much still upset, and I agree with Smitty. Getting into the bed with Joey is not a good thing, and he's definitely gonna come back and want a favor back in blood. And when he does, we put him straight belt to ass. Ain't nobody playing with Joey right now. Ain't nobody playing with Joey at this point in time. I agree with Smitty on that. Now, Smitty was like, secrets were kept. He lied to me for 2 years. And the whole conversation was very nuanced. And some people in my live chat felt like maybe Nicole was making excuses. I felt like Nicole was being truthful with Smitty. And honestly, I could see where her making these excuses could be in the conversation her and Smitty had when it came to Martin. But I did agree with Nicole when she said, ultimately, Martin didn't tell you because not because he didn't love you, not because he didn't trust you, but once you tell somebody that you did something like what Martin did, even though it was self-defense, people change. People switch up on you. Their thoughts and their views of you change, and I don't think Martin could have handled that, which is one of the things he was really worried about by telling Smitty and the children. But after this entire nuanced conversation, Smitty is going to the concert. But first, he want to talk to Martin. Martin come down there. He thinks Smitty is asking him to come home, and it's not the case. Talk about this damn concert. Both of them gonna be there. Hallelujah, thinking Jesus want to do it, but both of them want to be back together again. When it comes to the damn articulates, first of all, they thought Miss Anita was trying to do her biggest one by putting them out of basically saying F them in this reunion to restart her career. But it boils down to Miss Anita wants to impress her children, her grandchildren, and her great grandchildren. Most of them never actually got to see her jazz career because she stopped singing jazz when Danny and Nicole were younger, so nobody knows that side of her, and she just wants to impress them. So they like after a while they do agree to allow her to have the solo and to impress her family members. Now, Sharon has a goddamn is either a panic attack or an anxiety attack, whichever one has got her not being able to hear nobody call her name. She can't breathe, and then she panics, and then she runs off, and it's just like, we're not getting this concert till Monday. This is too much, but I hope she okay.